Hello. Hi. This is Dr. Fang-Mei Law from Tiffin University. Welcome to the Social Psychology lecture. This class is designed for Tiffin University students who are taking Side 250 Social Psychology with me this semester. Originally, we are seated class, but because coronavirus, so now we changed to online. This class is here. Of course, it's for everybody. So if you are not my student and you are happen to open and watch this channel, welcome you. Actually, social psychology is very good material and very important knowledge. Many of my students actually in the class told me they feel everybody should learn about social psychology. So I think this is a good chance. That's why I put in the YouTube channel, not only make it available for my student, also hopefully I can serve everybody in the community. Okay, so today we are going to talk about conformity. Okay, conformity. So the title here you can see conformity. They say influence behavior, and do you think so? Okay, so now let's talk about when and why. What happened when it happened? When actually you are show your conformity to other people and when you don't. Now, in American culture, we are very emphasized about individuality, right? So that means we have to be focused on ourselves, right? And we should be promote or develop our self-assertiveness, right? And you should stand up your own right. I'm from Taiwan. I'm from the culture emphasized about collectivism, okay? And I have been here, teach and work, and then live for a while. So I'm kind of both culture, but I can see two culture is somehow different and yet similar. So actually the point here say, even we are emphasized about individualism, okay? Is America really free from conformity? That's true. Let's talk about when you think people show their conformity. Okay. Now, when we say conformity, okay, that is a definition here. A definition here. So the conformity is mean a change in one's behavior due to the real or imaged influence of other people. Okay, so you change your behavior because you think about, maybe people know more than me. Maybe their idea is better than me. And then you may decide to follow, right? Or the situation is a little bit ambiguous or crisis, then you maybe decide to follow, okay? And we call it conformity, okay? And here say can be real or image of it. Think about what other people maybe care, okay? So when we talk about conformity, actually they have a two type, okay? And in this section, we will emphasize the first one more than the second one, okay? The first one we call informational social inference. Informational social inference. And the subtitle here to say, it's the need to know what is right. The need to know what is right. So when you are in the situation, you really need to know what is right. And then to make a right choice, to get a right answer is very important. If that's the case, you're more likely to follow this, and we call this informational social inference. Okay, now in our life, quite often we may want to be right. For example, when you go to a university, okay, like my university, they tell students, I don't know if from university or just in general, pretty much if you have PhD, they encourage students to call they are doctor. Okay, so for example, they call me Dr. Law because I have PhD. But then they encourage students, for the people, for the professor, they don't have a PhD yet, then call them professor. Okay, so sometimes students, they are ask me, how do I call you? How do I call you? You know, because they want to be right. Because they feel if I call them in the wrong title, maybe rude, right? Maybe show very impolite. Okay, even like myself, I'm not really that care, but I know my students, they really want to be right, and I appreciate for that. Okay, and so do we? That is a one. Or when you go to a new culture, like when I come to this country many years ago, I found a lot of people call each other actually first name. Okay, first name. In that time, actually, I even a little bit naive. I thought American only have first name. Or another thing is that in my country, actually, we go last name first. So people there call me Law Fang-Mei. But then here, people call me Fang-Mei Law, right? So then to follow the culture, I need to get used to, I reverse my name. Okay, so I always say, when you go to a new culture, new country, the first thing is you flip your name. Okay, so that is the example for conformity. And here also say a very interesting example about sushi. Right? How many of you like eat sushi? How many of you? It's very interesting. I found in America now is so many places sell sushi. Like in my area, I have a Giant Eagle, Kroger, and they all sell sushi. So I wonder who is eating sushi. I think America maybe like sushi, but when I ask students, it's not everybody raise their hand. So I'm kind of confused because I can get sushi easier here than when I back to Taiwan. So it's interesting, right? But anyway, so if you eat sushi, did you use forks and knife cut, or you just eat at home, right? If you never know, if it's new for you, then you may show your conformity is for this informational social inference, because you want to be right. You don't want to show imply when you go to, for example, you go to different restaurant, you go to Japanese restaurant and you order sushi, and you want to be right, right? You want to be right. Like for me, to know how to, in this culture, when to use the knife, when you use the fork, and then which spoon I use, that's table manner something. It's still hard for me. So when I go to a friend's house, American friend's house, to eat a Thanksgiving or something, I kind of like, I have to look around, say, wow, when we use what, right? Because you want to be right, right? Okay. Now, so this is the definition of informational social inference. Can you see that here? Okay, the inference of other people that lead us to conform because we see them as a source of information to guide our behavior. Okay, so we influenced by other people, and we use their behavior, their information as a guide to lead our behavior. Why? Because we believe they know more than me. They know more than us. Okay? And why? Because when the situation is so ambiguous, then better to follow. Now, and let me give you a very funny example for you. It's ridiculous, but for me, it's true. I don't know. Like, for example, America is very big football, right? So for American people grow up here, I don't think people don't know how to play football, right? Or if you watch football game, you know when it's winning, when it's losing, right? And like what you mean touchdown, all that stuff. Tell you the truth, when I knew here, I had no idea. I had no idea. So for me to watch football is kind of what? Well, I can avoid, but sometimes I cannot avoid, right? For example, when my kids in the high school marching band, they are playing marching band in football game, right? And as a mother, of course, I want to support my kids. Actually, I'm not going to there to watch football. I'm there to watch their play. Well, but I sit in the football field. I cannot just sit there. I have to do something, right? So how do I know when I should cheer up for our high school team? Well, I look around. So when I see people say, yeah, I'm kind of say, yeah. I'm say, yeah, right? When they stand up, I stand up. When they sit down, I sit down. And then when they say touchdown, I say, yeah. Actually, I have no idea what's going on there, right? But in that case, for me, the game, when they play game, what's mean winning? For me, is so ambiguous. I have no idea. And I also feel embarrassed to ask me that what's going on, because I'm adult. I suppose to know, right? But I don't know. So to not make myself embarrass myself, I just kind of follow along because I feel they know more than me. That makes sense, right? And do you have any situation like that? Possible, like if you go to the Chinese restaurant with me your first time and you don't know how to use chopstick, you may need to ask me how to do it, right? So we all have a situation we have no idea, right? But that's a good way you can learn, or you just see what other people do, right? So this is called informational social inference, because we want to know what is right. We want to know what is right? Okay, so the research here, okay, in Scherf in 1936, okay, they want to see how people, they may follow other people in the certain situation, okay. So actually they put some participants alone in the dark room, okay, and they have a light there, and when you in the dark room, they call autokinetic effect. That means when you are in the dark room, you see that actually you will see the light moving. They are not really moving, but you will see they are moving, okay. Then they ask them to estimate how much that light, okay, move away, okay. So when they are alone, they say about 15 feet. Okay. Then even though actually we know for sure the light is not moving, okay. So it's just that they just feel like because this autokinetic effect, they feel they are moving, okay. And the light seems like moving usually about 2 to 4 inches, but as much as 10. But when they are alone, they say 15, okay. Now days later, they have them do again, but this time not alone. This time actually they come with other people. This time they come with other people, okay. So then the researcher found during this time, they pretty much follow what other people estimate. Okay. So this chart, you can see this chart. Okay, you look at this chart. Okay, you can see when they are alone. Okay, you can see the answer they provide is everybody so different, right? The subject 1, green one, say about 7.5. Okay, the subject 2 say about 2, and then subject 3 say about 0.8. Okay, and then they start to have them go with 1 people, go with 2 people, or like 3 people together. And you can see the more people they are together, the more their answer become consistent. Okay, so you can see now they can look at other people, and then when they look at other people, they start to say, hey, looks like they know more than me, then maybe just follow. That makes sense? Okay, so now for this, they have 2 terms. They have 2 terms. Let's do some explanation about what this term means. Okay, one is called private acceptance. So when we call private acceptance, it kind of means you actually accept in here. Privately, you accept. So it means even you follow people, you conform other people's action, but actually you already believe that action is right. Okay, so that is private acceptance. Okay, and so here, conforming to other people's behavior out of genuine belief that what they are doing or saying is right. And actually that's informational social inference. So that means informational social inference is leading people actually to believe whatever that action is correct. Okay, that is called private acceptance. Okay, for example, when you sit in the class, and then for some reason the professor not show in 5 minutes, and everybody waiting in 10 minutes, everybody waiting and in 15 minutes, and then everybody don't know what to do. Okay, and suddenly somebody looks like they are senior, they also in the class, and then a couple of them stand up, say, well, it's 15 minutes, it's with 15 minutes rule, if professor not come, that means we have no class today. So those students walk out, and then you as a sophomore, or you are the freshman, and you sit there kind of say, well, if they are senior, they must be know what are they doing. So you follow and you left the classroom. Okay, so later actually you tell other people, hey, do you know what? If your professor didn't show the class for 15 minutes, then that means they have no class that day. Okay, I don't know if you believe that, but actually for people after they follow, they maybe become what private acceptance. That means they agree with the rule. Okay, now another one called public compliance. That means they follow, they do it because what, they just want to appear in public, kind of like, okay, whatever you do, we are doing the same. Okay, well, the difference between these two is this one, conforming to other people's behavior publicly without necessarily behaving in what we are doing or saying. So that means I don't have to change my mind. I just have to do whatever you guys do. And that is leading to our second conformity, second type of conformity called normative social inference. Normative social inference. Okay, and just give you a heads up. When we say the informational social inference, the purpose for that is to be right. This one, the purpose for this is to be acceptance. To be acceptance. The reason they do this, they just want people to accept them. Okay, so for example, you're teenagers, and you see your friend smoke, and they may say, well, if I want to survive in this area, I better smoke with them. Okay, and they later on, when you ask them, do you think smoke is right, they say no. But then why you smoke? Well, it's just peer pressure. But well, so then hopefully they are normative social inference. That means they don't change their mind. Okay, well, Sharif, remember this, the people doing the research, okay? The one, this slide, okay? What they say about this? They doubt on public complaints. However, by asking people to judge the lie again, they found actually they all continue to give the group's answer. So what's that mean? That means during that research, most participants, they are inference, they are conformity with which type? Informational social inference. That makes sense? Okay. Now, let's see why people so care about accurate. Why accuracy is such important and when they are important. Okay. Well, depend on what situation you encounter. Okay. So for example, if you were called to do the eyewitness, to conform to other, to pick up suspect from the lineup, okay, I believe that is very important job. You have to be right? Because when you identify that suspect, you have to identify the right one. Otherwise, they maybe will put into jail or get sentenced maybe for the crime they not even commit, right? So this will be very important job, right? Okay, so for example, they do this research, okay, and they will say you have to be right. If you identify right, if you identify the right one, you'll get reward. Okay, they say $20. I don't know if $20 good money round. Maybe you have to say 200, but actually they say 20. So for that one, it means actually those people they get a reward. Okay, they get reward. They more likely they will get correct identification when they alone. Okay. However, when they not alone, okay, when they not alone, actually they are asking each other what do other people say, okay, regardless it's accurate or not. Okay, so you can see quite often looks like based on this we are quite vulnerable when we with a group, because then we kind of like, well, we don't need to take the big responsibility because we are the group, right? And then if not wrong, people don't laugh at me. It's not only my decision, right? It's very interesting, right? Okay. Now, even we say that is a inference, and it's not mean always correct or always good, right? So here this slide say, well, let's think about when the informational conformity can be backfires. Okay, sometimes when people involved to personal safety, of course that it's important to be right. Okay, and that's why sometimes people just follow regardless what should be the right to do. Okay, so we say, especially related to the emotion, it's contingent. It's contingent. So contingent means the emotion can be spread out very fast through a crowd. So if somebody say one thing and then very quickly people start to find, maybe follow, even emotionally they will have the same symptom. Okay, so actually the chapter we studied, they give us an example about mass psychogenic illness. Okay, so that definition is mean the occurrence in a group of people of similar physical symptom with no known physical cause. Okay, so that example in 1998. Okay, they say in 1998 in Tennessee. Okay, they had one school teacher report say she smelled gasoline. She smelled gasoline in her classroom. Okay, so then the school very nervous, so start to evacuate the whole class, full school. Okay, and then actually also have 170 students, teachers, and staff report they have the symptom like headache, nausea, and dizzy. They have the symptom, okay, because they heard that gasoline, okay. So it's very interesting. Actually, after the expert, investigate and check the whole school, they don't find anything wrong for school. Then, very soon, those symptoms is disappear. So, are they really have that headache, dizziness, or the nausea? Do they really have? They say they do. Well, because they heard the school say that, the teacher say that, and then actually the whole school is very worried. They ask everybody out. So 170 people, they feel they really experience the symptom. Okay, and so this is part of informational conformity backfires. So everybody body follow that whatever the teacher say, because the teacher, it sounds so real, right? Okay, so now here also talk about we have to be even more careful, because right now we are in the stage we have a high technique, right? So like we have iPhone, we have cell phone, we have email, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, right? So if something happen in one place, they will pass to the whole world in no time, right? On the other hand, if that long time ago, right, here say in Middle Age, okay, then that time, even something happened, they may take them 200 years to pass to other place. But now, no. So for example, I'm recording now for this YouTube, right? And once I upload to the YouTube, and who knows who are going to watch that, right? So that's why when I do this teaching, I'll be very careful, because people out there, they are listening, right? But anyway, I will come you listen, okay? Now, so but we also be very careful when we receive the message, before you pass them along. A lot of time we just say, oh, that's very good message, we just forward, okay, without double check what's going on. For example, right now coronavirus, right, you may get a lot of message tell you how to do this, what to do this, and what's this, and then you kind of keep following. Well, please check the message, where they are from, okay? If they are not have the scientific resource, you have to double check. Maybe sometimes to be good is to stop, don't pass along, right? Okay. And when will people conform to informational social inference? When? This is three places. Okay, one will be when the situation is ambiguous. When the situation is ambiguous, that means you don't know what's going on, but you want to be right? So if you follow, we mentioned about that. The second situation is when there are crises. Right? So then if something happen, for example, I'm from Taiwan, and once in a while we have the earthquake. And when you have earthquake, like whole building is like shaking. And if you are new in the country, you don't know what to do, you may follow whatever people do, right? Or when other people are expert, right? If they say, well, I know it, let me just handle it, right? And then you will follow, because it looks like the person know more than you, right? Know more than us, right? So three situations. One is when the situation is ambiguous, right? Secondly, when the situation is a crisis, right? and third is when other people are expert. Okay, so actually I will do my best to keep the lecture in 30 minutes, and looks like right now it's 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. Okay, and hopefully you find this information is helpful, and this is our conformity part 1, and then after break I will show you the part 2, and then maybe you need a couple part to complete this topic. Okay, so I will see you later. Okay, and so I'll remind you, actually this in YouTube channel, and they have a subscribe button. So if you find my lecture is interesting, you want to follow up and you want to learn more, then you can push the subscribe, so when I make the new video you will get notice. Okay, so stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.